One second. Yeah. Jai Sri Ram, everybody. How are you doing? How are you all doing? Thank you for
We're all
being here.
fantastic.
Very nice, very nice. Want to welcome Rishabh ji from Kohana, Preeti ji from Toronto, Vinay ji from Toronto, and Lalit Datta ji from Toronto also. To discuss about how the Hindu phobia is being fanned in Canada wantedly by is it government sponsored Hindu phobia. Okay, in fact we are going to, if you are watching this video, we will recommend you to kind of stick around and see. Tomorrow we are going to do on that money Meghala issue also. Okay, on fully in detail we are going to go what is the connection, who is promoting it, how much money is being given, everything. Okay, in fact, see today check out how the what do you call the hatred. Hindu in Canada is a micro minority, and how they are being targeted is very, very interesting. Okay, let's get started. Now let's go to Rishabh ji first. Rishabh ji, Jai Sri Ram.
Jai Sri Ram.
How do you find it? Do you find a pattern or you don't find a pattern? Do you agree with the statement or disagree with the statement? Please go ahead.
Yes, pattern is evident, and it is evident from all over from how academic research has been done about Hinduism from colonial times up to now. The way the portrayal does and how the analysis are done through certain lenses, and that is reflected into media, and that we see also reflected in popular discourse. In today's times, when we are talking a lot about inclusion, even then, when we see a little bit of inclusion, we see it in forms of disrespect through our own people. Earlier it was through the people who belong to certain faiths. They don't know much about the faith or the ways of life we live, and they make some assumptions based on their fears and everything. But now we see the people from who are born as Hindus, who are born into our families, but subscribe to Marxism and other ideologies, which are famously atheistic ideologies, and only so
Or
they
rice
are
bag ideology.
yeah, and then they also want to stay atheist, but also want to take a little bit freedom in terms of using our sacred art, sacred iconoclasm for their own negative purposes. So definitely, Hindu phobia is on rise, and it's evident by every
So
incident
you
like this.
face it, right? You face it. We will come back
Definitely,
to you. We will go
yeah.
in some of your personal experiences. Okay, how it's very interesting. Okay, yeah. If you really see it, Canada is listed as top 5 democratic value holding country in the world. Please don't say loud. The truckers will hear it. Okay, so. And India is in 50. These guys are the one who put the listing anyway. Okay, Preeti ji, go ahead. What do you think? The government is fanning the Hindu phobia.
Namaskar.
Before you start, I just want to show you this one. The liberal government is in hands with Jagmeet Singh, the Khalistani run NDP party. Okay, and in fact, he went on to criticize Raksha Bandhan. You know that? Raksha Bandhan, he was making fun of, and talking about, he doesn't even know what his guru said about it. Okay, and these guys are the one who are in bed with them. Is the government doing this to keep their voter base, that is the Jigadi and Khalistani voter base, in good humor? Yes, Preeti ji.
See, the problem here is everybody thinks that Hindus are a soft target because we Hindus, we do not react fiercely and we are always decent people, right? Otherwise, if we are not decent and if we react the way other people react, do you think these people will do all these things? No, they cannot be Hindu-phobic if we react that way. But because we are decent people, they are doing it, right? So I mean, it's fortunate to be decent, but sometimes it's unfortunate to be decent. That's what I believe, and that's the very reason. Like everybody thinks that okay, you talk anything about Hinduism, you talk anything about this. Like our gods and idols or whatever, they can just get away with that because nobody is going to challenge them. That's the very reason they are able to do this Hindu-phobic. And just imagine, like, if this is the thing they are doing to Hindus, can they do it to any other Abrahamic religion? Can they do it for any other religion for that matter? No, they can't. They cannot, because they know that what they will face, they will be killed, they will be terrorized, or I mean, many other things they can face. So that's the very, very reason that they are not doing it for any other religion, but it's Hinduism. And Hinduism is the only religion which teaches the followers to be patient with the enemies as well. There is no other religion which teaches this, and that's why we are really, really actually patient with all those people who are attacking our gods, our belief, our rituals, whatever, right? so
Absolutely.
so I mean, it's unfortunate, but yes, it is there. It
Absolutely.
is there.
We will come in the next round on more about your personal things. If you have faced anything also, okay, you can include in that. Okay. And Lalit ji, it's very interesting to see, the Gurudwara gets attacked in Afghanistan. Nobody talks or anything about it. The Christian gets attacked and eliminated in Pakistan. The Canadian government doesn't want to talk about it, but the farmer protest, they want to talk about it. They want to talk about the protest happening in some junction in Delhi. You know, what is this? Is a Hinduphobia being fanned, do you think? Now the Kali Mata controversy, the Mani Mehalai. Okay, something what we found very interesting. I'm sure Vinayji will able to go through in detail on it. Okay, that she was the only student so far who got 100% scholarship. Okay, can you believe this? The college broke the rule and gave her 100% scholarship. Why so? A lot of questions are there. Okay, and of course many people know the relationship between Aha Khan and Trudeau's famous links. Everybody knows about it. Whomever follows Canada, and that is the museum where her play was done. Of course, it was taken down later. Yes, Liliji.
First of all, Namaskar ji and Bharat Mata ki jai. And I could not be more agree than what Preeti ji just said. And as for Hinduphobia, they all know we are very patient. We don't believe in violence, and we don't believe in fights at all. We sit down like adult talking to each other that we can sort out the problem. What is the problem? Sit down talk. By violence, it doesn't sort out anything. It does create more hatred to one another. And now you come to the Kali Mataji poster. What is that? Why always Hindu been picked on? Just because we're tolerant? They're pushing our limits. Once one of us we cross the line, then you know what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen exactly what happened to Mughals.
But
And
do you think it is being promoted by the government itself to keep its voter
there
base
is
intact?
some sort of propaganda. Otherwise, in common public would not have that much guts to do anything like that. There always some sort of source behind anybody.
What happens if you do to some other religion here in Canada? How long you have been in Canada,
Oh, I've been
Lalitji?
here. I grew up in Canada, sir.
You grew up in Canada, so you
Yeah.
know better, right? So
Yes.
what happens if you talk bad of any other religion like this,
Well, you get
Abrahamic
charges.
religions?
You get a charges. You get a charges through the by law and order. We have to follow the law and order over here. And if you go to India, nobody follows the law and order.
Forget
And
about
if I-
India. Here, Money Meghala is here in Canada.
yes, yes, because they're sitting in a safe zone. That's why they're creating all this propaganda. And if I were to talk bad about any other religion, I would be charged. If somebody come around the how would I say, sneaky way, and they don't come in alone. They don't come in alone and talk about it, and they come in a crowd to attack a one human being.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Vinayji, what do you like to say?
Namaste ji. I would like to talk from the Canadian perspective, actually. This is a lot of stuff is going on back in India. They're trying to destabilize the Modi government, BJP government, to bring bad repute to the whole government there by started off with the CAA, NRC protests, farmer protests, then all the hijab protests, then the Nupur Sharma protest, and now the Kali thing, and it's just either they want the Hindus to react or Hindus to be the either victimized or blame the Hindus for everything that is being that's happening there. So this is an international agenda, and it's actually the Canadian government. I should not be open about it because I don't want RCMP knocking on my doors. But it's basically
But I'm hearing some knock.
We are hearing some knocking.
Okay.
I hope not. So you just talked about Jagmeet Singh. Jagmeet Singh has a huge agenda with Khalistanis. He's a well-known Khalistani supporter and a sympathizer, right? And then you have Trudeau, who is a huge, he's in cahoots with the Aga Khan Foundation. He actually flew to the island on a special chartered flight, and all the gifts that he brought back. So
that is a museum where this was played.
And that's exactly where I'm going, actually. And obviously, Kali was produced by Leela Manimekalai. She actually is she's got her own agenda. She's actually called as an activist filmmaker, not an artistic filmmaker. I don't know if any of you know this. She's called an activist filmmaker. So there you can understand that somebody actually, I don't want to say names, but somebody in Canada obviously supported her. And these are big wigs. I mean, this is not some small people funding her, right? And only then she had the guts to kind of come up with this kind of a poster. And when the poster came out and people protested about it, you know what she said? She had the guts to say, I am not pulling out the poster. I don't care about anybody. I am just expressing myself. So nobody can do this. And she actually, if you go through her documentaries that she has produced in the past, every single documentary is controversial and crazy, actually. And she identifies herself as a bisexual, and she is anti-Hindu in most of her documentaries. And one of her documentary called Matamma, which was produced in 2002, it talks about devoting girl children to deities, and that she was showing that this is not right. And this is what she has done all through, for the last 20 years or 25 years. So coming back to the Canadian perspective, yes, there is anti-Hindu stuff going on here. We are minorities, but still we are not considered minorities because the other group of minorities have already overtaken us. And now we are in a kind of a Netherland, kind of a, what I mean? Neither here nor there. So we are neither majorities nor minorities. And a lot of, like Mr. Rishabh said, was, a lot of the leftists, they basically have their own agenda because they are atheists agnostic, and they don't want to promote or support Hindus, although they're Hindus themselves.
Yeah, they catch hold of some big bindiwalis too to come and represent them.
Oh, yeah,
That
yeah,
is,
yeah. The big Bindiwalis, right?
yeah,
The
yeah. You know,
Lutyens group.
yeah. Yesterday
Yeah,
they
yeah.
went to
Arundhati
the,
and
yeah.
yeah,
You know,
absolutely. And
huh?
even the Barkha Dutt. She doesn't wear a bindu or bindi,
No,
whatever.
no, she
But
does. When she wears it really big,
really,
and so do the
there you
NDTV
go.
NDTV
Yeah,
lady.
she's a Muslim, but she wears a big bindi to just show off she's also an activist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So bindiwalis.
Bindiwalis.
Rishabji, you are running an organization for Hindus, yeah, in Canada. You say me, okay, about your personal experience. We were talking about it. How the library cancelled your thing just for the sake of, because you are representing a Hindu organization. Can you say me a little bit about it? Because we are talking about how the micro minority of Canada is being systematically targeted because of the hate being fumed by the government.
So I would not like to share the ongoing issue which is going on with the Toronto Public Library.
Sure.
Stated, I will like to declare in the public. But I would say this about the question of Hindu phobia. Oftentimes, we think Hindu phobia is only when directly your faith or your living life is commented upon or discriminated. We need to understand that Hindu phobia is institutionalized in this country and all Western countries, and including India, wherever the colonial system has been, and the legacy of the colonial laws, colonial ways, colonial thinking of life goes on. So Hindu phobia is ingrained. If you ask in a classroom a student of the science background, have you faced any Hindu phobia? Their first answer will be yes, here and there. But when you make them realize that when you study sciences, have you been taught about the gifts India has given, the Hindu way of life has given to the sciences? All the scientists, when you think about the term scientist, the image comes to your mind is a European white guy. But the truth of the matter is, most of the European science relies the foundation of it is Hindu sciences, and it's not a coincidence that Renaissance happened when Britain was actually ruling or exploiting India. So
Absolutely.
so that's where it starts. So Hindu phobia starts from the mission of taking all the knowledge from Hindus and actually branding it and digesting it and making it their own. That's where it starts from academic perspective. It trickles down in various ways. So the same agenda which goes on from Macaulay to now here, these people through the movies and everything want to portray that. So that will be my short answer to the Hinduphobia question. I would like to address more later. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, Preeti ji. Last round. Okay. So you can put your point quickly in a minute time. Yes.
Yes, Hindu phobia is so apparent that you can't ignore it. Like you can see it everywhere.
You
Wherever
can see in the
you,
workplace. Do you
yes,
agree?
everywhere. Everywhere you can see it. Like, you know what, even if you don't want to say that, yes, there is a Hindu phobia, but you will see it. You will face it every single place, be it workplace, be it anywhere. So, I mean, it's so apparent. So there's no doubts about that. And we as Hindus must do something about this.
Yeah, but
Because
and
because
the
if,
and
if
it is
we will not do something
institutionalized by
about
the
it,
government.
who else will do? Sorry?
It is being promoted and is institutionalized by the government.
See, doesn't matter. It is being promoted by whoever, doesn't matter. See, the thing is, you have to speak for yourself. No one else is going to speak for you. Okay, so we as Hindus, as a community, have to come together, put aside our differences, be a strong Hindu group, and then you should be noticeable in a right way, not in a wrong way. Okay.
Absolutely. Lalit
Yes.
ji, you quickly.
Haji,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say in this Hindi. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, please.
Okay. जो क्योंकि हिंदू फोबिया पहले इतना नहीं था कनाडा में जब मैं आया था. उस वक्त ज्यादातर यही होता था, when the people see us as a brown skin, they used to call us Paki, which is started from England, then came to North America, then came to Canada, and after that is diluted. And now recently, past 5-7 years, I would say it's Hinduphobia. Even myself, I come across with a lot of people. They say, "Are you Hindu?" I say, "Yeah." I'm proud to be one of them. And they start talking about negative. I say, you got to learn the history first. I'll give you example for my daughter telling me that Tesla has invented the battery. I said, no, Tesla never invented the battery. It was August Rishi who
It's Rishi.
invented the
Yes.
battery, that Tesla read our scripture and brought it to inaction. I say,
Yes.
by saying it, writing it, doing it, it's two different things. Bring it into the action is totally different thing. We only look at the action. We don't look who did the whole research in back those days. And August Rishi was involved in Ramayana and also was in Mahabharata,
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
right?
Vinayji,
Go ahead, Vinayji.
okay,
Yeah.
Vinayji, you know
So
what? I just want to ask you, put a question to you. You know, it is not only Hindu phobia. You know, it is the First Nation phobia that gets extended to Hindu phobia. You know, because we have a lot of things in common with the First Nations. You know, their hatred for First Nation, you can see so many children killed, and so many graveyards found. You know, you know about the Canadian things
oh
even
yeah,
till the
absolutely.
recent past,
Yeah.
and that gets spilled over to the Hindus.
Yeah.
And do you agree, Vinayji, that lot of our organization face a difficult time to book spots, because if you are doing it from the Hindu organization name, in the job organization, if you are in the job, when you are going, you get discriminated when you are a Hindu. You know, these things are quite obvious and open here. Okay, go ahead, Vinayji.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, you know what? It's like my mom used to tell me, there's a saying, right? It's the empty vessels that make a huge noise.
Noise. Yeah.
And basically the problem is Hindus always feel that we are proud of our culture. We have that ego, right? And we don't want to come out and make a big deal about anything. So we kind of just stay low profile and just take all the stuff. And that's exactly as what has happened with the native Indians too. And they are one of those kind. I mean, they're extremely nice people, but they've never, they're kind of these they've lived a low profile life. And now the government is kind of coming out and trying to give them some carrots and freebies and whatever, right? But look at the other communities. The other communities are the noisemakers, and they are the ones that are heard really fast and really well. And this is what is the cause of all these issues, right? And unfortunately, if Hindus are not going to do this and come as a collective community, this probably this dharma, what your Hindu dharma is probably going to become completely,
No, no, no. No, no, no. We should not. We
No,
should
no,
not
I'm,
even
I'm
utter
I'm
the
just saying,
thoughts.
it's a
No.
hypothetical
no,
situation,
Yes.
but
no.
you know what? But
So
that's
the
the
thing is, we
reason.
had to stand up. We had to stand up, and we had to get it done.
That is
And
the reason, you were right about the grants and stuff like that. And I have come across that situation myself because we applied for a grant for a Hindu cultural festival, denied, denied.
yeah, you know, Hindu schools, many temples applied for Hindu schools, which got denied,
Right.
whereas other religions gets schools.
Oh,
You know,
my
I was
well,
talking to somebody, he booking even a simple like conference rooms get rejected. You
exactly.
know,
My
it's
my neighbor, my neighbor's kids go to Khalsa school, and another neighbor's children go to a kind of a madrasa, like they have this kind of a school in Canada where they teach Quran. But do you think that we have something like that? Yes, there are a couple of them, Chinmayananda Mission, and those
no, no,
people are
not full
doing.
time school.
No, they're not.
They are
They're not.
not full time school. They don't get it approved. Okay, and it's a difficult time. I know the temple tried a lot, and they got rejected up front. Okay,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
anyway, you know, we will keep up the things, and let's this is the time for Hindus to unite and make it happen.
Absolutely.
You know,
So,
thank you for every one of you for joining, and let's make it happen. Okay, Hare
Let
Krishna.
जाने से
Hare
पहले नारा
Krishna.
लगा लें.
बिल्कुल
बिल्कुल लगा ले, क्यों नहीं?
भारत माता की
जय
जय।
जय
जय श्री
भारत
राम,
माता की
Jay.
जय
Yeah.
you know
भारत
see
माता की
Jay.
Bharat Mata ki Jai. And guess what? One of the Hindu Naras from the Sadi Yug is only one thing: Vasudeva Kudumbakam. We are the one who say every whole. It's not. It's not the dogs. It's not the cats. It's not the plant. We say everything is our family. All living beings are our family, and we pray for them. No matter how good or bad they are. Okay. Anyway, thank
Awesome.
you.
let's get
Great,
Movie.
Ji.
let's
Thank
get
you.
Hare
together
Krishna.
Thank you.
as a Hindu. That's it.
yes,
Thank
Hare
you.
yes,
Krishna.
Jai
Thank you.
Shri Ram.
jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.